Yesterday in Parliament, we had one of the most important moments of this year. There's a massive debate about the influence of CCP across the world, but of course also the Chinese government inside China, what they're up to. Now, the Labour Party somehow have Chris Bryant, we actually talked about him yesterday on the channel, these people who have been essentially, directly or indirectly, allowing China to rise, and in the name of globalism and all that, somehow there's a big battle. Chris Bryant in this video, during a select committee session, had a row with James Cleverly, the Foreign Secretary, and accused James Cleverly of being on the side of the CCP. Now, also, the whole point of this video is to show the chaos in the British political class that we have right now. Let's go to this video.
So the point is...
You're just a Chinese stooge then. You just do what they want.
Do you want to give any evidence to that?
Yes.
Go on.
I think I presented it to you.
Oh, well,
it's pretty straightforward. You've said because China has sanctioned some MPs, you wouldn't be prepared to take them.
I don't...
So this is the whole debate, by the way. So James Cleverly is Foreign Secretary. If there's a trip to any foreign country for any sort of discussion, you just take the Foreign Secretary and his team. And he was questioning, saying, well, if some MPs want to come or junior ministers, why are you not taking them? But firstly, that's not the job of the Foreign Secretary. He doesn't have to take anybody anyway. I'm not even defending James Cleverly. This is just protocol. But especially if they've been sanctioned by China.
Take ministers on visits with me. That's not...
I think you know how shoddy your answer is.
No, I think you have got a nice headline that you wanted to deploy and you've got no evidence to back it up. The fact is, it's the job of the Foreign Secretary to engage with foreign governments, including governments that we disagree with. And we do so to highlight the areas that we disagree, which I have
Oh, get ready for this.
done, whether it be on Xinjiang, Hong Kong, or the sanctioning of our parliamentarians. I've raised this issue on every single meeting and conversation that I have had with representatives of the Chinese government. And
See, this is the line that the British government, actually all Western governments have had for the past few decades. And people thought, oh, that's the only thing we could do. Technically, it's the only thing we could do because it's the only thing we've done. Basically, what this means is if there is a tyrannical government, you still have to have relationships because that's the whole point of the world that we live in. They usually have a meeting with Saudi Arabia, for example, or China. And during those meetings, a formal official meeting, they sit down and they have the bullet points that they have from their foreign office, for example, and they say, just for the sake of the argument, we have to raise these issues about human rights. And then they respond with something, Saudi Arabia or China, their leaders, and they just move on and continue their discussions. So they could do a checklist with a tick. There we go. I mentioned the human rights issues. I'm not claiming that I know the solution. I'm not saying that the solution is to invade China and make them better with human rights. But this is not really the perfect solution either. So the Foreign Secretary, James Cleverly, says, well, I've raised these issues. Well, so what? Nothing happened. Again, this is not really just his fault. It's just the fault of the way the system works.
We'll continue to do so. So basically, unless you can give evidence to back up your assertion, I would request politely that you withdraw it, because it is not just inaccurate, it is also, I think, really quite discourteous.
You had the chance when you came to the...
So that's the end of it. I mean, yeah, going back to Chris Bryant, the guy is he's a clown. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's always ready to have a meltdown in Parliament. I don't know why. But at the same time, we know that the Foreign Office is completely useless these days. How many times on this channel we've talked about the issue with the Iranian uprising right now in Iran. People are very clear. People in Iran say, well, we don't want foreign intervention. This is our fight. Don't come here and some sort of install any system. But stop treating the Iranian regime as essentially a partner or an ally. Stop negotiating with them. Stop signing treaties with them. And be a voice of our people. Be a voice of freedom. At least sanction them properly when it comes to the Revolutionary Guard. Prescribe them. But again, the Foreign Office says, well, our hands are tied. Our hands are tied. They're saying Foreign Office that used to rule the waves. I don't know what's going on in the world anymore, because we don't seem to be leading the world or anybody, even when it comes to soft power. We don't want Britannia to become some sort of world police. But in terms of soft power, do we actually have any more influence? It's not even just us, even America. I don't know what they're up to these days. But right now, it seems to be China who are leading on every front. They're going to Central Africa, they're going to the Middle East, they do whatever they want, and we can't do anything about it. And we're too busy talking about genderless toilets and stuff like that. So Absolute chaotic. Anyway, I thought I'll show you guys this clip of how debates are being conducted right now in Parliament. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.